Hey, what is going on, guys? Hex coming back again today with a brand new video, and as always down below will be the topic we're talking about today, and that's Fairy Tail Zero. And I thought about adding like the last couple episodes in of Fairy Tail Zero, but I really just want to talk about the return of Dragneel in a separate video. And now, to start this off, this was a very informative little series we got here, and I loved it. And there's so many times we don't get this from other series, and things like this are what excel stories just in general, because we get that information, and it makes us, one, say, what the hell, are you serious? And two, it makes us be like, oh, so this is how this came together. This is how this all worked out. And the thing with the Fairy Tail Zero, they didn't do it from like a past generation per se. They did it from the very first generation. It wasn't just a past one. It was the very first one, the foundation of Fairy Tail. And we learned that Mavis is actually a girl from Tinwell Island, and her whole family died, I guess, or got murdered by, was it Red Lizard that she was in? At least that's, what I believe, because if I remember correctly, because they owed them some money or something like that, and they couldn't pay up, something like that. Now, all these people on the island hated her, and Mavis still even loved these people, even though they hated her, and treated her like she's garbage, I mean, honestly. But we have this girl named Zara, and I want to talk about her. Zara. It had me fooled. Like, this whole time I thought she's an actual person. Everything I heard, I thought she's an actual person entity, which she was technically, but she's nothing but really an illusion this whole time. She's just subconsciously made by Mavis, because what she needed the most was a friend, and Zara actually died whenever we saw these two girls running away. And when Zara fell down and like lost consciousness, she didn't cough, she didn't do anything of that. She died. Mavis just, right then and there, the magic kicked in, and some consciously made something that Mavis needed, didn't let her lose that, because if she would have lost that, maybe Mavis would have lost her mind. Who knows, we don't know. And that's just really impactful to find out she's an illusion. I was like, I hate watching episodes like this, because it really kind of breaks your heart, right? Or your heart, right? Because it really chokes you up. It really does choke you up. So, we go on, we meet Yuri, which is Makrel's dad, which I want to find out how he passed away. I guess his age, apparently, from what the ending credits said. Then we got Master Precht, which I just don't understand how Master Precht just turned bad. Like, that's something else, man. I know he just wanted power, but there had to be more to it than that. Like, what really flipped his switch, right? What really flipped that switch? And everything he'd been through with Mavis and whatnot, is such a kind-hearted person who was Mavis. I don't understand how he could have turn the other way. And we have Ward, who left. I want to know why Ward left. It's always in the spoilers. Maybe Ward left because, Master Precht, he delved in dark magic, and he probably took control of him a little bit. That was him on the way of becoming Hades, right? So, Mavis actually passed away too, which I want to know why Mavis died. Like, if this is age, I mean, they're still pretty young, I'm pretty sure, what the, judging by the years they said, because I think like a few years after Mavis started Fairy Tail, she died, and same thing with Yuri, something like that. Like, within 20 years, something like that. So, I mean, they're judging they're only teenagers, they should have been like 40, so, I mean, so, I don't know. Now, we see how old Ward is now, though. I mean, that's after a whole generation, though. We're literally 2 generations past where he was. So, that makes sense they're old now, right? Because literally we had Makrel's generation, and then we have, like Natsu, Lucy, Gray, and Urza's now. So, one thing that was cool as hell, Zeref was the teacher of Ward, Mavis, and Yuri, and Master Precht. So, that's cool. This is what really got me. So, technically, even, Zeref says it himself, never did I know that what I would do in that moment, helping these people, was I would create the Guild Fairy Tail. And yeah, he didn't intentionally create the Guild Fairy Tail. He didn't go and help build this guild and set up necessarily the foundation, which he did in a sense, training them. But he didn't say, hey, let's start a Guild Fairy Tail. And he does start this guild inadvertently, and it's just crazy. The biggest enemy of Fairy Tail is Zeref and Acton-Logia, you could say, right? So the biggest enemy really was the one that got it all started, got the wheels, turning. He is the one that got the gears turning. So, one thing I want to leave you guys with, I think, because I'm pretty sure I covered everything I really, truly did want to talk about here, and that is, think about this. We saw Mavis in the past few episodes in a diamond-like thing. So, I'm wondering, Mavis supposedly died, quote unquote, and at such a freaking young age. I mean, she's a young woman. She's barely a teenager, so she's like 13, 14, give or take. And like, she died. She died that, you know, so young, when she probably would have been like in her what 40s, 50s, something like that. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, because think about it. Because Ward is now really freaking old. We could say he's like 100 or something, you know, something like that. But we got to put into perspective. Makarov, look how old he is. So he's probably in his 80s, something like that. I'm not sure about these exact ages. So they would all be younger than Ward, even. They would all be younger than Master Prex, even. So it's kind of like, you know, Mavis couldn't age, apparently. So supposedly Mavis couldn't age, right? So if Mavis can't age, or she couldn't grow, which is kind of the same thing as aging, from, you know, she just stayed that size, that use. How does she really die? And then you look at the Lumen Histoire, and Mavis is sealed inside of it. Did Mavis really just get sealed away? Did Master Prex seal her away? I feel that she's more so not necessarily dead, but sealed once again. That really, you know, kind of fits the script to me personally, because think about it like this: if Mavis's grave is on Tenro Island, wouldn't you suppose she'd be buried on Tenro Island? Or was it her, like, spirit or something like that? Was it her spirit able to escape but not last? But even then, look, Mavis is alive and kicking in her spirit form. We see her around the guild sometimes, even in these later episodes of Fairy Tail 2014. So why is she in a crystal then? If she's really dead, why is she in a crystal then? And why does she look the exact same way as she used to? Once again, that goes and helps support my point that she couldn't grow anymore. So basically, she's you know, living like an eternal life per se, right? Just kind of like Xerath in a sense. And I thought it was cool when she called herself the Black Wizard Mavis, but in a sense, right? So think about it like that. How in the hell should she be dead? I mean, and her physical forms is not shard right there, so that kind of proves the point that she's definitely sealed or something. But I'll leave you guys with that. As always, you've been Hex. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, X25. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.